Hello there, sixth graders. It's Mr. Steely here, and I'm gonna teach you how to make a graph. And let's first of all start off in our dashboard, in our folder, in our science folder. You'll see that here I'm looking at Braden's and Greta's, and I want everyone to pay attention to these two files. What is called the ruler drop data is have your first name, and then ruler drop data, and then it'll have your first name and graph requirements. So those are the two that we're going to focus on today. So first of all, open up this spreadsheet called ruler drop data, and it should look something like this. And notice it has 4 centimeters here and 10 centimeters here, and average time. So we put in our average time for these two variables. Notice that everything was the same in these experiments except for the independent variable, and that was the distance the fingers were from each other. So let's say for 4 centimeters we got 160 milliseconds. Now, only put down numbers in these things because it only can graph a number. And so for this we have 10 centimeters, we have, let's say we got 200. Okay, so again, for the 4 centimeters I was able to grab the ruler at 160 milliseconds on average, and for the 10 centimeters, 200 milliseconds on average. Now I want to make a graph of this. So what I do is I highlight the whole thing. So I notice that I highlighted this, and I highlighted even A, B, and C. So all the columns are highlighted. Then over here, see this little thing looks like an insert chart? We're going to do that. So click on that. And we're going to do a column chart. So columns are up and down, and let's just click here, and let's say insert. Now we're not quite done. We're going to tweak this a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how to tweak it. There's several different ways, but I'm going to show you one way that will save you time. A couple things I want to point out. One, we're going to change the title. Another one is graphs, in my opinion, at least at this level, should start at 0. And so you should always start at 0 there, unless otherwise noted. And we don't really need the legend for this because we know that it's average time because it says it right there. All right, so let's do this. This is easy. So I just clicked on that y-axis, or the vertical axis. And the minimum time is going to be 0. The maximum time, I want you to choose 100 milliseconds faster than your slowest time. I mean, higher than your slowest time. So if our slowest time was 200 milliseconds, let's choose 300 milliseconds. Okay. Oops. I think you got to click. You got to press enter. 300 milliseconds. Enter. 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 There we go. So, and then another thing, let's get rid of that legend. Right click the legend. Clear legend. All right. Now a couple of things I noticed. I want to change the title. Let's call it reaction time. All right, enter. And then this is fine, average time, and I notice I have the units, which mean milliseconds. That's good. Now there's nothing down here. Now I want to put a label down there. So I'll show you how to do that. You go over here, and let's do advanced edit. Now here you can change a lot of stuff, but let's not get too complicated. Notice the title's all right. That's perfectly fine. The title's great. The legend, it's set at none. The font's fine. Background color, we don't need to change the background color, but it's kind of nice if it's slightly gray. No, there's no background color. Let's just keep it white. Features, don't go too crazy on the features because sometimes it distracts. But let's go down to horizontal axis. That's also the x-axis. So horizontal axis means this way. All right. Now notice there's no title here. We need to put a title there. So again, axis, horizontal, title. Now let's change it to finger distance. Okay. And it's already labeled centimeters, so we don't have to put centimeters, but it's always nice to put our units. So let's put finger distance in centimeters. Axis labels are fine. Slant labels, treat the series. Let's not mess with that. Data labels. Data labels is kind of cool, but what you can do is you can put a value and it puts the numbers there. That's good if sometimes if it's in the middle of things. I kind of like that. Error bars, we don't need error bars. And let's do update. So that's good. So we have what here is reaction time. We have the y-axis labels. We have the x-axis labels. We have these labeled, so that's 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters. We have these numbers right here if we need it. Now this chart, I think, pretty much has everything we need. Let's go to our requirements over here. So if I open up this, and if I kind of can open this in a new window and then shrink it a little bit. Let's see here. We can go through some of these things right now. Oh, shoot. Okay. So let's see what I can do here. So I have my graph right there, and then I have this. And let's go through these things. So here we go. Double check our graph. Back to this. Okay, let's double check our graph. Here we go. Graph is a simple column chart. Check. Graph has a title reaction time. Check. The x-axis is labeled finger distance. I know I did that, but let's double check on this. And it is labeled finger distance. Check. The y-axis is labeled finger is average speed, milliseconds. And that is a check too. Or average time, that's fine. One column is labeled 4 centimeters and the other is 10. Check. The legend is removed. Check. The y-axis starts at 0 and ends 100 milliseconds larger than your slowest time. Check. And the graph is inserted below. What? Okay, I haven't done that yet, so let's do that. So let's go back to this. So we got to go to our graph. If I go over to my graph, and I'll make this larger here. Now over here, copy chart. Now, notice that I said copy chart on that. And then we go back to this over here. And I'm going to insert this. So then I right click or I insert, let's see what it says, insert chart, no, from sheets. No, actually paste, sorry, paste. Link chart to spreadsheet. Yes, we want to do that because if I do any changes over here, it's going to change it over here. So that's fine. So let's do paste. And we have our chart there. Perfect. Our thing is done, and that is our time is up. Thanks for watching.